Right. Me and Brother Kwame are up right now, and we want to welcome you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the screen. And first off, I want to give Brother Kwame a round of applause because the brother has been putting together these comedic New Year talks. He been putting them together. He handpicked everybody that was on, and he did a great job. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out the way, and I'm gonna let Brother Kwame go ahead and introduce our next speakers.
Good evening, family. This is Brother Kwame. Um, now, this family, I came to know Nia through Elder Alona. How, you might ask? Well, many of you know Elder Alona and I are part of a Columbus study group, Meta Nature study group. And Elder Alona would always go to the Ohio State Library to try to find the book we needed in order to do some translation, interpretation, etc. And Sister Nia was how did you what was your role there, Sister Nia?
Um, can you say your question one more time?
Your role at the Ohio State Library and how you assisted Elder Alona?
Oh, yeah, she was looking for some information. I can't think of the title, and at this time, but it was one of them real ancient
Yeah.
historical monographs, and she needed to make some copies and things in that sort. So I just assisted her on navigating through the Ohio State Library.
So, and because she was such a help to Elder Alona, Elder Alona would come and say, "Yeah, Sister Nia helped me with this. Sister Nia helped me with that." And I was like, "Okay, shoot, we have to meet Sister Nia, right?" However, over the years, many of you know Elder Alona has done the coding piece, and Asa would always come to these coding pieces, and Asa had a knack for coding. And so, I always kept the brother in the back of my mind because I was like, if he has a knack for coding, then, you know, then that means he can develop ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but then to formulate a plan by which to carry out those ideas. Because again, if you can plan, if you can code a machine to do something, and the type of instructions that it takes to get it to do that something, it's a special kind of skill. And so, when we started talking about featuring people to talk about their thoughts and feelings and, on different things happening in the present moment, I thought of Asa first. So I reached out to Sister Nia, and she told me that not only Asa was available, but Jennifer was too. And I was like, oh, that's great. So I was like, you know what? Why don't you all come on as a family so we can hear how Asa's dealing with it, Jennifer's dealing with it, and then Nia and Shango, who is the father, how all of them are dealing with it together. And so let me get out the way. And Sister Nia, you can turn it over to Asa, Jennifer, or if you want to take the lead, however y'all see to present, I'm going to step out the way so you can get out.
Okay,
You got it.
alrighty. Thank you, Kwame. I truly appreciate you inviting our family. Um, my husband, he just got off of work, so and he has to go back in. So he's laying down for a minute before he does his second round of work. So, but he really wanted to be here, but he's just resting for a minute. So he may pop in a little late. So I'm gonna let which one we'll let ladies first. Okay. So Jennifer, share your thoughts about what you think about this COVID and all the racism that's taking place in the country. What are some of your thoughts about it? And how do you feel about some of this, the things that's transpired?
Well, first, I can say that that is an interesting question because, well, I can say like my thoughts on it are really like, coming from a young person in this type of generation, it was first off very surprising. When you're into like the school system and stuff like that, you tend to, be social, you socialize a lot, you get into it, you get in like certain programs a lot, and I was enjoying that. And when I first looked at the coronavirus on the news, it was more like, it was more likely a thought of, well, this is a whole bunch of things are going to be different. And first of all, being at home and everything. So like when you're at home, you tend to think of like a lot of things that are going on in the world when it comes to racism, when it comes to like when it comes to the news, when it comes to violence, when it comes to a whole bunch of things, because you're at home and you have the right to think about all these things in your mind, because at the end of the day you get to think of it because you're at home, that you find peace in your home. And as Black people, our main space is where when we're at home. We have to play the game in society every day, but we get to go home and be in thoughts with our own thoughts. So coming from a young Black girl, from my perspective, with the racism and everything coming into all that together, I believe that with the COVID situation and it getting into people's minds, is that it's like a tactic of political aspects, and it's also a part of racist acts as well. Because if you see, like, a lot of things are going on with Black people nowadays, like Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. All of these things are going on, and it like most likely falls a lot to do with the political aspects of life. Because if we see from the negligence of our president, who is Donald Trump, we all tend to, looking at the news, looking at politics, looking at racism itself, it all depends and falls on to who owns and who goes into this country. So I feel like with with coronavirus and with racism going on, I feel like as the people ourselves, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for us to wake up, since we are in our homes and we are allowed to think and think clearly in mind, instead of going back out and playing the game and looking away from it all. We have the time to think and really collaborate with each other and all, like on platforms like these. I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to, get together and for us to thrive with one another instead of, instead of going against each other. So that's first my thought.
So, Asa, would you like to share your view on being home with this COVID and what you've been seeing in the news with a lot of the you know our people being shot down and things like that? What is your take on that as a young Black male? And soon you'll be driving and out there, and you won't have me and your dad around, or your sister sometimes. So, what are your take on what's going on and the COVID
It's
and all of that?
it's pretty wild, you know what I'm saying. The COVID-19, when I first heard of the coronavirus, um, on CNN 10, I was like, oh, okay, it's another disease. We have to look out for that. But then it started getting bigger and bigger, and now I'm like, wow, my gosh, this might actually affect stuff, and it did. And so it's like, I always think like when I get kids, we're gonna be telling them, it's like, what happened in the year 2020? A lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But with this coronavirus and being at home, I think it's a good chance to get into ourselves, and like, instead of like, you know, being out here at these jobs with these people, having differences. I think it's a good time to actually concentrate on ourselves and what we like to do, and like, you know, have time for ourselves and work together at home, get to know each other more better, because being outside school and these jobs with these other white people, you know what I'm saying, they can't relate to you, you know what I'm saying? So like you can talk with someone that's actually in your family and you get to know them better, and you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think about this quarantine. And with these
Do
police
you feel, just
officers,
to interrupt, do you
uh-huh.
feel as a young black male being home, and you having to deal with a lot of white female teachers, do you feel that you were able to better focus on your schoolwork being at home? Was it less stressful being at home? Um, Through the COVID coming home, did you like that? How did you feel about it?
I mean, it was kind of hard because like you would want to do stuff that you usually do if this COVID-19 wasn't here, but it was kind of hard, not gonna lie, and it wasn't as fun as this. I was thinking the summer break was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because like I wanted to go to programs, and like I was gonna ask my mom like, can I do some robotic camps or something? But I couldn't do that because of the COVID-19. So it's been kind of hard doing with the coronavirus affecting all that and stuff. And yeah. But about these police officers, it's like what I'm gonna say is this: I don't think we us people should be scared of these police officers. Just be like mindful of them. But I don't think we shouldn't be scared of them because like they're just gonna take advantage of that. And I think like we should also fight back and like actually regroup with our team. I want to say this, our team, and like uh
Well, you shouldn't. You
talk
saying
up.
fight back to the police?
No, I'm not
Oh,
saying that. I'm not
okay.
saying that, but I'm saying stop being in fear. You know what I'm saying? Don't have fear when you see a police officer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's just giving them, they're just going to take advantage of that, and like, you know, just I wouldn't be in fear of them. You know what I'm saying? And also what I was going to say, I think we should like talk up about our people and stuff to confidence. You know what I'm saying? Let these other peoples know that we're not scared, and that we're confident, and we will fight back.
I would like to piggyback. Oh yes, and I would like to piggyback off of what Asa said about the police. I feel like the police have put in a system to trap mostly black men and to trap mostly black people and put the fear in our minds. But I feel like, however, mostly I feel like black people need to understand is that the system was put for racism. The system was put for black people to be dependent on white supremacy. I feel like if our people come to the understanding that the system is put because it threatens their way of life, the white supremacy's way of life, they are never going to stop doing this. And if we keep continuing to let them do this by just kindly asking them, sometimes you have to fight fire with the fire. You can't always just ask something, because when it comes to white supremacy, and for one thing, them being known as the dominant race, if you try and say something, it goes in one ear and not out the other. Our ancestors have been trying that for multiple years in our lives, but nothing has happened. So I first feel like we have to come to the understanding of the system that was placed for us to be dependent on the enemy.
So, how do you all feel like, okay, like when we talk about when you all about to start driving, we don't want you fighting the cops or being, share how do you feel you should carry yourself when if a police officer was to stop you.
Well,
You want to share it, Asa?
Me being a black male, you know what I'm saying? It's I want to say this is kind of difficult because like I don't be on. They have the weapons, but it's like a black person can be completely unharmed, but they assume that we have a gun or something. But I feel like they just be angry and they just like take their anger out on just like black folks. You know what I'm saying? These white police officers be like shooting other blacks because I feel like
But
it's
how would you
just
neutralize the situation if you ran into a cop that uh, was, had a chip on his shoulder? How should you respond? Should you respond with a chip on your shoulder too?
no.
So
I
what
wouldn't
should
say
you
that.
do?
I was saying be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk don't talk say something like like don't okay, what I'm trying to say is that like don't talk back and like have an attitude with it because they will pull out the gun.
They're looking
um
for any excuse to
yeah,
do
any
that.
excuse or anything because like, and then if they ask you for like anything, just say where it is, but keep your hands on that steering wheel and don't make any sudden moves because they're just gonna find anything to pull out that gun. So yeah, that's my take on
And then so in other words, get home safely, right?
it. Right.
And then you can handle things legally, right? If they mistreated you improperly. But get home safely. Don't, right? Put the ego to the side because you would somebody that's trigger happy, maybe, right? Okay. What's your take, Jen? Like if you got pulled over by a cop, or if you were jogging down the street like Ahmad was, how would you respond?
Well, I can first say how, first of all, as a black person in general, I was taught as a little girl, as when if you are stopped by a police officer, you have to remain remain respectful and do the same things that what Asa has said. So, but also as a black female, I can say that you do have to maintain a certain level of tolerance. You have to remain a certain level of tolerance and deal with it legally later, because police officers do have a thing with sexually harassing or sexually molesting black females and getting away with it. That has been a thing for years, and I feel like as for someone who can keep my nerve, I would have to just contain myself in a situation and make sure, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing is humiliating, and what I'm doing is it's sad, but I still have a family to. I still have a life that I have to maintain, and it sucks that we have to stay in that environment, but that's what the system is put to set fear in our minds. And and knowing, and that's why I'm saying it's really important to understand what type of situation you are getting into when it comes to this society, is because it is really guaranteed to put black people into the jail system or child support system. All these things like are made for us to like have dysfunction. So what we have to do is we have to understand the problem in order to you know understand the solution. So my solution is to keep my nerve, unfortunately, but it's what I would have to do, and
To get home
to get
safely,
home
yeah.
safely.
And then you can handle things differently
Handle things
when
differently.
once you get home. We can.
Get the name, because I have done studying on like federal law requirements. They are required to give you their name, and they cannot. It is illegal for them to not show their badge, and it's like with black people, it's a whole different thing, because with officers, when they are interrogating someone, they cannot, when the person is talking, like just talking, when the person is like angry, when they say aggressive things, the police officer is supposed to still do their job. I mean, there's a difference between physically reacting to the point where they have to forcibly like handle them on how they need to do their job, or talking on how they need to do their job. They have to have the thicker skin, because you are trained to do that professionally. Because when you're angry, or when you're aggressive, you tend to not even think of your job, but that's not the case. They'll tend to use that on black people most often than they would choose to do on white people. That is why it's much more dangerous for us if we tend to get smart or talk back. I mean, there's no law saying that you should talk with the officer with respect or he'll have every right to put his hands on you. So I feel like it's just every excuse. So without us even getting into those situations, we might as well just comply with what our parents have been teaching us, because it's all for the greater benefit of what we have to do to keep our lives.
So what is you all's take on about the COVID and how they're saying that it affects the black people more? And what is you all's take on that about this COVID affecting our community more? And um, how do you all feel about that in itself with the COVID-19? What is your take on that? It started in China, and then President Donald Trump said it was the Chinese virus. Now they switched to it's black folks getting affected by the COVID. How do you all feel about that? What's your take on that?
Go first.
That's not true at all. That's well, I want to say like that's not true at all, because like it can affect any human, even if you had it before, it can still affect you, because like if you think about it, I'll meditate on that for a second.
Okay, you gotta meditate.
Okay,
That's heavy.
so with that, with that question, it's very. So I can say this in terms of it is like it is the Chinese virus. I can say that
So you think it came from China and all of that?
yes, it came from China, and from a black person, I don't have any respect for the Chinese government at all. I mean, I feel like they do create certain things that are really illegal, and they treat black people like garbage. So I feel like I have no respect for the Chinese whatsoever. But I feel like in terms of it being in the black community, let's first look at the system of what black people are today in this country. First of all, 70% of black people in this country are either raised in the ghetto or in poor neighborhoods and poor stations. The difference between of how black people live and white people live are obviously very different. When you would go to a black neighborhood, you would either have the Save-A-Lot, the Dave's, the Aldi's, all these places that it's and basically with the coronavirus, I have to add this in. It's about your immune system as well. So you have to maintain and eat certain types of foods. Oh my God, that's a huge beat. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
He's gone. He's in the flowers.
Okay, he's right next to me though.
No, he's not. Go ahead. Sit down.
I'm sorry, but anyway, it's all about containing your immune system. So you have to eat certain good foods in order to like maintain that good immune system, so you can prevent certain types of viruses. So my thing with this is if you live in an environment when you have no choice but to eat high GMOs, processed foods that have chemicals in them, mostly like candies, drinks, all these types of stuff. They sell a lot in the black community. Things that are preserved in plastic, things are like this. But when you go to a predominantly white neighborhood, they would have that Trader Joe's. They would have the Whole Foods. They would have in the Amish countries. They'll be having them. Just organic, nice foods. So these foods are more likely to train your immune system in order for it to be stronger. I feel like when we eat those certain types of things, it allows our bodies to be like, it's more like poisoning your body. The things they do to our fruits, the things that we eat, the things that we drink.
So you thinking like our people that live in what they call the hood,
yes,
that our immune systems may be weaker,
right?
And that may be why it's affecting us
Yes.
harsher
Yes.
because they don't have the access to fresh fruits and vegetables or um,
Right.
or going to the farm to
Going
get
to
the
the farm.
foods. And I guess you all notice when we ride out to the farms to get our food, we got to go way out
We have to go
in
way
white
out.
folks where a bunch of
Right.
white folks live at, right?
Yes.
And you all like, why it's not around where we live, right?
Right.
So
And I feel like
I see what you're saying.
yeah, and it's really crucial is because and it's also evident because if you see in back in times in slavery times you would see our people that used to be living up to nearly 90, 95 years old, but now in today's world our people are like passing away around 75, 85, 60, 69.
Right.
So because back then they would eat things that were basically more organic. They would grow their food. They would like have grass fed animals. They would have
It's gone. It's not bothering y'all. It's just going into the flowers. It's not bothering you all. Come sit back down, Asa.
But that's a huge
I know
bee.
it's a huge bee. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
We're recording.
But anyway, I'm just not gonna look at it.
Right, go ahead.
But anyway, yeah.
Mama,
So,
we're not recording. We live, y'all. We live right now.
Okay.
They didn't see y'all running from bees now. You know, come on now.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, and yeah, and that's my that's my take on it. And
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All righty. Asa, you have something you want to add?
Jennifer said it all. I'm gonna be honest. I agree with Jennifer that black people do they eat more like
Not all black people.
Not all black people, but I'm saying
some are people in the
yeah
in the predominantly black communities don't. That's what you're saying.
yeah
Don't have access to fresh. They eating hot fries, huh? From Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay.
Well, them hot fries.
Yeah, hot fries, stuff that has like carbs in it and stuff like that.
Heavy
all these
carbs.
Unhealthy things.
So okay, so you think that's why it might be affecting our people more
because it's all about like that immune system. You have
Right.
to maintain that immune system. Have your elderberry, have your blueberries, have your greens, have all of it. Your chlorophyll, have everything that you need in the body to maintain that healthy lifestyle. So when there is a virus, your body is gonna know you eat proper, you eat healthy. We don't need the virus. We can just take it out. But when you eat certain types of foods, viruses are just gonna be like, okay, this is a weak immune system. We can just take over anytime we want to. So I feel like it is affecting the black community more than it's affecting white people. I can't say that is known. And
I'm glad to hear you all are aware about the chlorophyll and the elderberry, huh? So you all been paying attention, huh, to what me and your dad feeding y'all, and
yes,
okay, well that's good.
That's
good. That's good. So
fried food.
Is there anything else that you all may wanna? Did we cover?
I also want to say this one thing.
Okay.
This COVID-19 is serious because some people they don't understand how serious it is until it actually happens to one of their family members and actually realize how real this is. If schools, stores, and everything is shutting down, I'm pretty sure they only realize when it happens to one of their family members or something. It only happens. So, but this thing is.
So let me ask you all this. So if we just got done saying, what did you do? Can you all see us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait 1 second. We kind of.
I can't press it.
We can't see you all. Okay, let's just quit talking. Why did you even touch that?
So I got it. Hold on.
Okay, let me ask you all something too. So you all know. Okay, so you all they can see us. So I don't know what took place. So they can still see us. So let's just keep talking.
Okay.
So you all say that they
There we go.
they shut down the schools and they did all this. Uh, they did all of this and things like that. Shut down the schools. OSU, has us working from home. Now, if you all saying that, uh, white people really don't care about us and all that stuff, why do you all think that now, they shut down everything? Like they care about us? Do you all think? What's your take on that? That um, you know,
I feel I'm gonna
you
say
understand what I'm trying to say?
I see what you're saying, but like I think that like they shut down. I feel like it's also business because they don't want to get sued. I'm pretty sure if the coronavirus made their way into like let's say a restaurant into their food and that person got sick and eventually passed away, that the other person's gonna sue them or like they're gonna go out of business because of their like food and people getting sick. I feel like it's also business manners too, like in those terms. But that's what I
Okay.
think too.
Yeah, I like to piggyback off what Asa said, business. So I feel like when they shut down everything, I feel like it's 100% relevant to the fact that white people do not care about black people at all in this country. Is because first of all they're opening back up the economy again, but I'm going to get to that. But first of all, most of a lot of black people in this country own small businesses. We all own small business, and when the economy shuts down to a business that's not making enough funds to keep it from marketing to go belly up, when the economy shuts down, they can't be able to maintain that certain type of business. So you may have the Costco's that's open, the Trader Joe's that's open, but if you got like Ken's Wings, if you got like these other small businesses like that, they're going to be shut down. Is because they don't have a lot of money coming in to maintain customers and whatnot. So I feel like when the economy shuts down, I feel like it is highly relevant to black owned businesses that don't make a lot of money, because you see a lot of the Arabians and the Chinese in our hair stores, selling us products, and they be wide open, but in other places, black owned businesses are being shut down, plus opening up the economy again. That's just a death sentence. And at the point, it wouldn't even matter if you open up the economy and open up back schools. What would be the purpose of getting the mask? Because if it's being breathed by more people that may they be asymptomatic with the coronavirus, there may probably be spores in the air. You don't know. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's way of a serious matter than what people think it is. And as black people, we have to really be careful. So that's my take on that.
Okay. So, is there anything else you all like for us to collaborate on or speak on?
Oh yeah.
Can you hear
All
me?
right.
We back up. I got some questions, man. Hey,
Okay.
first off, y'all did a magnificent job. Let's say
Ashe.
that first.
Ashe.
There's some serious learning and some serious thinking going on in this household, and I got my notebook because I got questions.
Uh-oh.
First
Uh-oh.
question: Miss Nia mentioned playing the game. She said that we got to all play the game. We get to go out into the world, and then we play the game, and then we come back home. From a young person's perspective, please explain as best you can what the game is and how you feel about this game.
That was Jennifer, brother.
Oh, Jennifer, my fault.
Yeah.
So Nia is the mom.
Yes.
Jennifer, okay, and we got Asa. All right, Miss Jennifer. Let me go and put the right name on here. But when you said that, I'm like, there's an old lady sitting up here talking. So you ready to answer the question?
Yes, of course. What I mean by playing the game is, I mean, the one word I can say is coonery. I can say that. I can say the game has a lot to do with falling to the dependency of white society, which is dominantly owning this country as the facts that we know. I feel like we all have to play the game of not being the the highly smart one, not the, like when, not the race that we can show ourselves as being, I'm number one. We have to play that type of game of, you know I'm just the same as the average coon out here, so you guys can give me the same treatment that, I can get in this job, so I can move on in this job. But when we go home, you tend to have this image in your mind of you taking the white face off
Yo,
and
share.
showing the true black colors. So that's what I really feel like. So I feel like you have to put on the mask when you at work, and then you have to
Mm.
Man,
How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel that pretty soon you're gonna be moving into the adult world and may have to play this game?
It makes me feel, basically, as somebody who is really working hard on psychology, I feel like it does play a lot to do with the mind itself. Is because it really shows you the difference of how the difference between your home and the difference of society and how it's played out. It's like a checkers game. You have to first trample on each other in order to win to the next side. I feel like as Black people, we tend to, not really look out for each other, is because we're so dependent on the white boss, the white manager. You may probably work hard, and then you always got this one white girl one upping you, is because she's just white. I feel like I feel like it does make me feel kind of degraded, but it also makes me as soon as I know that I have that understanding, it makes me feel free. It makes me feel like I'm not trapped into something, and I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. So it doesn't make me feel like I don't have that slave mentality.
So what about when I share with you all, so you all don't have to deal with me and your dad have to deal with, about getting your own business? That's
Yes.
what we're trying to push you all,
Yeah.
where you don't have to be on these jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because we don't want you all to have to uh, wear a mask and come home and, you know, so you know what I'm saying. So that's one reason why we push to. That's why Dad is growing the food and teaching you all how to do things, so you can make a living off of some of this stuff, and you don't have to. You know, that's what we want for you all. We don't want you all to work for a corporation.
Right.
We prefer you all to have your own business.
Do y'all see the comments on the screen?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I see. That's what I was trying to tell you.
oh, shucks.
Y'all beating that phone
Wait a
up.
minute.
Excuse me. Where?
Is that it?
Oh yeah. Do you think? Do you think our DNA has, do you think our DNA has to do with us having covert with us having converted more than white people, or do you think it's the media?
What?
COVID.
Oh, COVID. Oh, COVID.
He messed up on it, but it's cool.
You think our DNA has COVID more than white people? No, I don't believe it has something to do with our DNA. I feel like, as Black people, we have always had the dominant gene. We've always had the dominant trait.
Ooh.
I feel like it's just the way that we are treated and the way that we are getting our supplements is most likely linked to us having in our DNA. We are melanated people, and we are more open to having vegetables, nutrients, which is why we have the dominant trait. Which is why when you inbreed with a white person or an Asian person, the child will always end up being most dominant. I feel like our DNA
My,
has nothing to do with the virus itself. I just feel like it's just
I wish I had my claps, girl. You cold with it.
Right, right.
And let me know when you start selling products because we gonna have the community gonna have to support you, girl.
I
Because
will start selling
I'm like,
products. Thank you.
are you now? Here go another one. It's not a question, but he kind of put an answer and he kind of agreed with you. This is a science dude. This is one of my science friends.
What do you say?
It's a great question. Not likely it's related to DNA, since our DNA is 99.97% similar. More likely related to the economic con. Oh.
Economic conditions. It don't
Yeah,
show the
yeah,
three dots. It don't show the rest of the statement.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you see
but
us?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay.
but that does bring up another thing, Asa and Jennifer.
Hey, so I ain't forgot about you. I just want you to know, man. You don't be trying to slide out because I got some questions for you too.
So yeah, that brings up that
Yeah.
now you mentioned several times about what we ingest through our mouths, but one of your areas of interest is psychology. So what about what we're taking in through the mind and all the things that we're taking in? Do you believe that? And to what degree does that weaken our immune systems?
So, basically, like lots of people, like lots of woke people in the Black community say that the universe is mental. I feel like that's why I'm very
Woo!
much into psychology. I feel like the way we perceive this reality and the way we are like spending money into this society, I feel like into a type of we are into a type of realm that we cannot control, that we are not in control of. And when you are not in control, and when you are fully dependent on that certain amount of control it has on you, you tend to mentally become dependent on what is given to you. I feel like, as somebody that is into psychology, my purpose is for people to be more awake and more confident into knowing that you can have that type of control inside yourself. But when you're in society playing the game all day, but you have the power and the self-confidence to maintain it within yourselves and within your spirit. That's what I
Gotcha.
that's what I choose.
But now,
And but before
okay. Go ahead.
Brother Asa, now you out here in Pickerington, and there ain't a lot of us out here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I recall being in a situation like that, and it was kind of stressful. How about you, bruh? What are you doing to hold up in those circumstances?
Uh, I just stay strong. Honestly, I keep confident. You know what I'm saying? I just stay.
So what are you eating? What are you taking in your head that helps you to maintain that strength you need to carry on?
Can you say that again?
So what are you taking in? What are you reading? What are you eating that helps you to maintain your strength?
Come on, Fox.
Yeah, you know, just
Show
honestly,
videos, Dr. Henry Clark, and just share all that. What we do in the house. Yeah.
yeah, we have talks. We relate. We just agree and stuff like that because like we have to we have to communicate to survive out here because if we don't do that, then how are we gonna survive? See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, share your view about like you want like okay he comes from a black school, Mansion Day School, and he had more black friends and black girls he liked. So It's just with this COVID. Share how you've been feeling. He wants to see some girls, and he wants to see some black girls, and it's not a lot out here. I told him the realtor tricked us. She said it was, and then now that we out here, we like, where you see them, but it's spotty.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
share what that's what he wanted to know. Kwame wants you to share. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing to keep your head right? You know, you said that we talk, and what else do we do? Here, I'm gonna let you share.
What we do, I think I explained it.
You did okay.
I think wait. Well, I mean, like, cause we can relate, cause like we can relate, have talks, and like honestly, just spend time so we can get to agree and stuff.
You share your feelings. You share your experiences.
So,
But somebody comment.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
What is
saw.
that?
Okay.
That
Jennifer, you can ignore that question. That's somebody that's either don't know or is trying to. So I responded to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about that at the end of the show.
Okay.
You done?
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother Tim.
All right. So somebody commented, and I just want to bring this up real quick. A Gadget 200. How you feel on black crime? And I just wanted to let them know we feel about black on black crime the same way that white people feel about white on white crime, or Asians feel about Asian on Asian crime. But it seems funny to me that the only time we talk about this type of subject, one group having inter internal problems, the only time we talk about is when it comes to black on black.
Right.
So let's have the
Right.
discussion about white on white crime. Let's look at the statistics. Let's pull up the statistics, and it's very similar. Let's look at the same statistics for Asian on Asian crime, and let's break it down. And let's have a real conversation. Gadget 200.
Okay.
Now I don't know if you're just trolling or what, but if that's a legitimate question, I apologize. It's not the place for that right now.
Word.
Now I got a question for Asa. You ready?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier, you said concentrate on ourselves
Mm.
when in some of the stuff that you was talking about at the beginning. Can you kind of break down what you mean by that?
By concentrating on ourselves. What I mean is like have time to work on ourselves, because like usually after the week we wake up early in the morning, go to these jobs or like schools, and we don't really have time to work on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we're over here waking up, doing work, and doing all this for a grade and stuff. Well, I think this is really good time to work on ourselves and actually understand our true inner self. Right?
Mm. You ready for my next question? This directly for Asa. Now, because you was talking when your mom was asking about the police, you said stop fearing the police. And the question I have for you: what can we do as a community to deal with this fear? What do you believe we can do as a community to start dealing with this fear that we have?
Um, what can we? Um, can you say that one more time? I'm sorry.
All right, because you remember when you was talking about we have a fear of the police because you and your sister broke down how there's a systematic piece going on with the police in our community, and you said that one of the things you was talking about was fearing the police. You said we have to stop fearing the police. What I'm asking you is to just think about it, and if you don't have an answer, it's cool. But the question is, what can we do in our community to get rid of this fear of the police?
Probably talk up like for ourselves. I'm not saying like I'm gonna say this fight back, but I'm not saying fight against the no no nah, but I'm like stand up and not like because they advance that. That's
Now, if you don't have an answer, it's cool. I'm just
No,
we just exploring.
well, this is where the conversation. Well, in other words, Asa, turn to sister and say, sister, tell them what you told her before, because Jennifer broke it down. Let me tell you, when the Black Panthers, one of the things that the Black Panthers did out in L.A. was they knew the law. Let me repeat, they knew the law. And now, Jennifer, if you would please repeat what you told them about knowing the law and how that is applied to securing ourselves.
Okay, I can say one of the laws that were placed for us for securing ourselves is Second Amendment. I feel like you do have the right. I feel like you do have the right to bear arms and to protect yourself. I feel like you do have to fight fire with fire. I do believe that when the Black Panther organization was bombing back doing what they needed to do, the white folks was kind of scared with OJ Simpson. They were scared out of their minds. I feel like when Black people are in attendance to defending themselves as and knowing the greater message, we not playing no more. Leave us alone. I feel like you have every right to defend yourself because at the end of the day, Martin Luther King, peaceful protesting, whole bunch of peaceful protesting, and it's still getting us to the same thing. Black people are getting more killed. The black race is getting killed more than any other race in the face of America. I feel like we do have the right. We do have the right to defend ourselves with fire, on fire with fire, because there's no point if someone has an intention of putting a gun to your head. You can't convince them to not kill you by just talking. You have to make sure you have to fight fire with fire.
So what are some of the things you do when an officer comes up to you? What are critical pieces of information you need to know about that officer?
Critical
before you leave that encounter.
Well, the first thing I would first have to do is come up with a strategic way in order how to like maintain my safety. I'm gonna have to know that police officers are known and have a great history of having ill intentions with black people. So as a black person, I'm gonna have to know a way to maintain my safety, and also as soon as I turn the age of 18, I will have the right to bear arms. So I will have a gun to defend myself if anything goes unnecessary or planned. But I do tend to say I do have to play the game. I do have to show respect. I do have to, in the sake of my life, because I do have to play the game. That's what I will have to do. But if it goes to a certain extent, I feel like I would have to have the right to bear arms in order to defend or protect myself.
Let's talk about the security piece that you're bringing up. When I ask you, what's your name and who's your people? Wouldn't that be something I might need to know about someone stopping me on the road?
Yes.
Just for security measures, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking about anything actionable right now. But these become critical issues that we have to address because, as Asa was pointing out, and as you've reiterated, we have to become secure within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, we have to secure ourselves. And as you and Nia has stressed, maintaining one's safety get home to one's family is primary. And then we'll talk about what steps need to be
Mhm.
taken. Excuse me. Brother Hatim?
I I got a few more questions, but yeah, I mean, because in a sense they answered them all in a marvelous conversation. We're going on an hour, fam. Y'all got a little bit more time in y'all? What's going on? Well, I mean,
Yeah, we're good.
all right. So, Neil, you mentioned something about Chinese relations. Can you tell us a little more about Chinese and Black people relations? Cause she went in, man. She went in.
Yes,
I
you
think that
did.
was Jennifer.
I mean, Jennifer, my fault. Then
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, basically, yes, with the Chinese, I do have a lot of disrespect towards the Chinese. I do not, um, I do not tolerate patronizing to their businesses. I do not feel the need to do anything for them. Is because they do a lot of things outside of our knowledge that America is not showing us to our brothers and sisters in Africa.
Mm.
I,
Mm,
I really do feel like
speak.
on the news they never tell you about how Chinese are kicking Africans out of side of their homes. They're placing them outside on the street. They are making sure that because they're not letting them in stores, they're forcing them to be homeless, and they are invading Africa because they make up too much of their population in their own places and starting to be have businesses and try to put their own military forces in Africa and everything to keep them with the same colonization mindset. I feel like the Chinese have really done a lot to disrespect our people, and our brothers and sisters in Africa need to realize that we have to we have to really we have to make sure to protect ourselves from the enemy that lies ahead, because you know, the white man was already enough. The white man has already, stripped everything in Africa, and the Chinese is going to be another downfall ahead. You know, the world needs Africa. The world needs Africa based on its resources. But everyone else, even the enemy itself, will make it so much. Will try to make it clear and lie to them and put the colonization mindset inside them of making them realize that Africa needs the world. But in reality, the world needs Africa.
From
Speak.
the mouth of babes.
Speak.
Ooh. Lord have mercy. I'm about to get y'all off the air because I'm scared, girl. You gonna take it to you. Yeah, I'm, Mama, you think Mama, we done did enough. Mama Nia,
Yeah, yeah, we ain't did enough because right, Mama Nia gotta still keep her job. We gotta keep paying her, and so I can feed them some good food.
Well,
my God. I'm not
we,
even gonna ask no more. I ain't even asking no more questions because I'm
well,
just like, oh
we'll,
my
we'll,
God.
we'll take it to perhaps a safer topic. So, uh, Mama Nia,
Uh-huh.
I've heard comments from Asa and, about this COVID piece. And I think even one of the questions came from the chat room. But where are people getting their statistics on who's dying, who's lying, uh, what works, what isn't working? Where are people getting their statistics from?
Well, social media is real big right now, and so a lot of times, like when Jennifer comes share with us what she sees on Instagram and everything, it opens up dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
We're just allowing Asa to get a little bit on social media, so he's getting exposed. I tried to shield him, but he wants to get out there on social media. So so social media is kind of that's where a lot of things they're seeing. They're getting a lot of information from there. So we as parents just try to. Um, you know.
What's your fact checking method?
Well, you know, because I'm a researcher, and
Hmm.
um, and
Hmm.
that's what OSU's hired me to do, is research and
Hmm.
publish manuscripts. So
Hmm.
um, I utilize a lot of databases and journals, and that's where I'll go. And then sometimes, because you have to look at who's writing things, and from their perspective, might be limited. Um, so sometimes we utilize spirit, you know, common sense, sometimes. But that's how I do. I use both. I'll use what the credible the credible sources say, and then we'll dialogue about it, and then we use a little common sense at dinner time. We'll talk about it, and we look at the authors. We look at probably their lifestyle. I mean, we dissect it all. Like
No,
a lot,
and
you know.
and I wanted you to go public with this because you know we have some young who need some insight into getting the correct resources
Oh, okay.
or reliable resources.
Mhm.
And I was going somewhere with that, particularly surrounding the COVID-19 discussion.
Mhm.
The issue that we come up against when speaking with one another is, of course, I mean, the history, in terms of the medical abuse that we have, as Black people, have suffered under. And given that medical abuse, the question becomes, how can we trust anything they have to say?
Right. That's another thing we discuss at the dinner table and in the family room. It's just because like I shared with my parents, they watch CNN all day, and my mom and dad constantly call me, oh, they saying this, they saying that, and then I say, well, okay, mom, okay, dad, now first we didn't want to take nothing what they say, it's commercial
Mm-hmm.
news,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're your TV is stuck on CNN and stuck on MSNBC, and all of this, and then they get quiet. And they go, okay, go on, go on. All right, okay. There you go again. And I'm just like, no, I'm just saying that at first, before this, even they was even like, they be lying. Oh, they be just exact. Oh, they be put. I mean, I listened to what they say, and then now it's like everything is like gold in what they say. I mean, that's the that's the that's the gospel now. CNN and MSNBC and Dr. Fauci and all of that. Well, and then now it's like, oh, well, he's an whatever, virologist, whatever.
Epidemiologist.
Yeah, right. So y'all running for the beat. So,
But
that's what it is. It's just, I don't know. I think sometimes we just got to go back to spirit and use a little common sense, and I mean, think about it. Our people survived the first what was it, the pandemic back in the 1900s, right?
Word.
1919, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, the what
1919,
was it? Yeah,
1921.
the influenza
Right.
thing. Remember
They
when that
called it
was
the
a big
Spanish
thing
flu.
back then in the early 1900s?
Mm-hmm.
So our ancestors survived that because we're here. So, I mean, they didn't have access to journals and databases, and so they did something. So I'm assuming they continue to grow their foods and
That might be an interesting piece of research, even there, in terms
exactly.
of
I was
what
thinking
was
that Cormier. So I'm like,
what was going on in Africa
right,
on the one hand, and what was going on amongst our own here in the Americas on the
right,
other hand. So
exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly, because they had to have survived. They didn't get wiped out. So, you know, we've been washing our hands and all of that. And so, it's a pickle. It's a, you know,
yeah, basically what I'm trying to do uh, is to get young brothers like Asa and she Jennifer's done gone beyond, but she could help hold the hands of those following up after in
hmm
that when we put them on some of these research projects
right.
that they can make an argument for, they can make an argument against, and know the weaknesses of both, and then call on that spirit
Yeah,
to guide them in what say we,
exactly.
in a manner of speaking. Uh,
Exactly.
but I ain't gonna hold y'all up anymore. But Hatem, if
No,
you
this
have
has
any
been
more
great. This
questions,
has been great.
but I can't tell you, brother Asa, man, we got work to do, and we gonna,
It's a,
we,
it's a,
we we gonna rope you into Ginyame, bruh. Uh,
Both of them.
Sister Jennifer, man.
The whole family. Good God Almighty.
Sister Jennifer, you are a jewel. You talk about the jewel of the Nile. Shoot,
they see
you
you.
the jewel
Man,
wherever you the jewel wherever you are.
well,
Shoot.
we got to work on this running from B thing. But other than that,
Thank you. Sorry.
and Sister Nia and a shout out to my brother Shango.
Yeah, he's
You know,
resting. He got to get up.
I understand. I had to. Look. I gave up some of my nap so I could talk to Nia and and Jennifer. I'm sorry, so I could talk to Jennifer and Asa over that puzzle.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, I gave up
but you
some of
gave
my
him one of those mental puzzles.
yeah.
Share with the people
Yeah,
that's here
yeah.
now.
So I'm glad. I'm grateful that you all had this platform for young people because, they're going through it too.
Absolutely.
Asa, we got him working on some of his business, and Jennifer, and they've learned how to grow some food and build some raised beds, and so
That's what's up.
yeah, we've just incorporated it. You know, that- but it's been tough. I know they want to see it.
Now, brother Hatem wants one of y'all to read one of them puzzles that that I gave to you.
Can you?
Brother Hatem, it's coming up in I think this month's newsletter.
Okay.
I can't be
Well,
sure.
Oh,
we
okay, okay, great. Yeah, you had their brain working this afternoon. I was
we
like, come
gon'
on, y'all got to figure this out.
we're gonna change
So,
the newsletter is going to
but I
be is
appreciate y'all, allowing this to hear from them, because I'm sure when the school year start, and even though they're online, I don't think it's going to be a platform for them to really be honest with, because you're dealing with white fragility, and you
Man.
know,
mm,
you know what I'm saying. So,
yes we do.
Goodness.
So can y'all hear me?
so
Yes. Go
All
ahead.
right. So
no,
we
I'm just
want
saying I appreciate you talking to. This is really good to hear from young black youth, their views on what's going on. That's going to be history. This is historical.
exactly.
So I think it was great for them. I see their, they hear it from me and their dad. We have talks, but it's good to hear that other adults and elders are,
Right. In other words, they got other family out here.
yeah, they got other family out
For
here.
real. Can you hear Hatem, Sister Nia?
check one, check
No,
two.
I can't hear him.
Okay.
Okay.
All
I
right.
hear
Now
I hear you, brother.
here we go.
They
Here we go. Check it out. So I think this might be a regular part of our show now. I think Kwame done found his niche. Um, Cause cause he has been for the last 5 days he has brought nothing but fire.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
so I'm gonna talk with Brother Kwame after we get off, and cause I'm just like, wow, I'm amazed by the show and stuff like this, and we continue if he's willing to do something like this, we continue doing this and come back around to Asa and Jennifer again, to the whole family again, because I'm really people are interested in what the young people are thinking, what they got to say. Um, but I want to thank everybody that took the time to tune in, and if you catch it in the rerun, you know what I'm saying. That's beautiful too. Also, I want to let the family know that since they brought up the gardening, Giame, we are going to have some pounds of greens, collards, kales, and mustard that we are going to be selling, organic, grown in aeroponically. So you ain't got to really worry about all the dirt and stuff like that, and because we got that stuff going on. But
When are
it,
they available?
it should be. I should be knowing something tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Please let us know.
Yes, ma'am. I'll let Kwame know and all that. And family, remember, you stick with Giami Journey because I'm trying to tell y'all we're going to another level. Last but not least, I want to give the family the opportunity to say some closing words before we get up out of here.
Okay. Y'all want to say some closing words?
Um,
What's
go,
your closing words you want to say
go first.
to the
Stay,
other young people?
stay safe. Make sure to always wash your hands, and yeah.
Stay safe. With all love. Ashe to both. For everyone who appreciated. Who appreciated what we had to say, and I love to.
All right. Well, thank you all so much.
And again, give Brother Shango my love and our love. And, we really appreciate what he's doing, what you're doing, Sister Nia. And Asa and Jennifer, stay black, stay beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
One love.
One love.
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
most important goddesses were black, not just for the African now in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey, the woman who draws, who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her, is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a black woman.
Greetings, coming to you live today from right here at Black Facts Central. It used to be, back in the day, they said the Negro had no history. Today we're black, and it's still hard for people to admit that fact. But the truth, let the truth be told, because our story is old. I'm here today to present to you a brand new ode on black history. This is an ode to black history because it shouldn't be a mystery. There once was a man they called Negro who had 10 fingers and toes. He even had a mouth, 2 ears, and a nose. But somehow that wasn't enough. If you asked anyone where he was from, he had no story to tell. Everything about him was a mystery, you see. But the man always knew that these things were not true. He had no way to prove it until one day he decided to write it down. Because until then, he had been told many times his words were sublime, but without being written on paper, they were worth no more than vapor. So all day he would walk around town with a frown, but once he decided to go ahead and write it down, the frown began to leave, because he even started to believe that he had a history worth writing down. He read and he wrote everything that he spoke, then read some more of his untold lore. Now he had a history with beauty and fire. He had somewhere he'd been and a story to tell. As he walked down the street, people noticed him now because his back was not arched and he stood straight and tall. But that is not all, for our history continues to grow and develop. Our history continues to be written right now by you and by me. And as you will see, I have right before me some black history, little known facts in Pan-African history. What you see right here, we're giving away today as a premium gift. In order to get this gift, all you have to do is send us $75 and we will send you this collectible book of Pan-African facts. You see many people here on the front. It's questionable as to whether they're black or they're white. When you get the book, you'll know, because inside there's a key that lets you know who's who and what's what, as you see. But even more than that, there's information on the back. Yes, there's more facts. Right here on the back, you have not just one, but many black presidents. I'll leave it up to you to see if you know which ones are who and who is which one. And then when you go all the way inside, there's even more, especially for you. There's all kinds of artwork done by a man named Malay. who's here to still help us have a good day with all kinds of facts and information, not only about Africans from the USA, but from all over the world. And the information was all painstakingly researched by the one, the only, J.A. Rogers. This book you see as a premium gift, you can get it today. All you have to do is send us something because we need some pay. But you cannot find it anywhere else. You won't find it online because it just ain't that, it's not that kind of find. You're going to have to get it right through the tube, so don't be a boob. Get it now through the tube. If you get it right now, if you go ahead and make that $75 donation right now, we'll even throw in a pack of our cards to go along with it. Because we're trying to remove the mystery from our history. And you've got this one here. Oh, it's just jam-packed. There's even a page in here about one of my old professors, Felis Shawande. There he goes right there. Boom. Felis Shawande taught right here at Kent State University back in the 70s and the 80s. Oh yes, this is a book you all need to have. You all need to have. But if you can't afford that $75 donation, go ahead and make a $50 donation. We'll still throw in a pack of the cards. You get 8 in a pack. The series is 16. And we'll throw in a button along with a refrigerator magnet of the founders of Black History Month. Because Black History Month started right here at Kent State University. It didn't start at Howard. It didn't start at Spelman or Atlanta University. No, it started right here in Kent, Ohio. Last but not least, if you can't afford that, just go ahead and send us a good $10 donation. We'll still throw in the button and the refrigerator magnet, and you can still participate by supporting your local curriculum maker, because that's what we're doing. We're over here making curriculum designed to educate children about Black history, Pan-African history, Negro history, call it what you will. It's the history of us. And it's going to require more than a bus for us to get this. Because we've been bused from here, we've been bused over there, and we still don't know who we are. It's 2019. J.E. Rogers started researching our history way back in 1915. So we're talking over 100 years, and we still are shedding tears over learning about ourselves. Isn't it about time that we learn who we are for real? Kwanzaa season is coming up, but you can get this for Christmas if you put in your donation today. I'll drop it in the mail before the post office closes. It closes in just an hour and a half. Do it while you can. I'm posting this up. Give thanks. Have a good day. Namaste.
Sit down in the jungle. Some people them a run with, and some a rumble and a shout. Fire gun. I open my eyes to no blood a run. See, but the blood a run in a different fashion. Them say that some virus did a take over Jalan. Put the whole of Jaja people in a mental condition. So my people cry. Say them can't take the pressure, no matter how them try. You took the wrong pill and you can't see clearly, no. How the wicked them a cloak and a dagger. All a Jaja pick me. So what you go on there? Sit down in the jungle. Some people them a run with, and some a rumble and a shout. Fire gun. So what you has been televised, now open your eyes. Put on your Gideon boots, lace them up, get ready for this ride. So no, 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 my people, don't you cry. Like you can't take the pressure, or you don't know the Most High. Like you done took the wrong pill and you not see clearly. Oh, how the wicked in my cloak and a dagger, all a cha-cha picnic. So what I go on there? Sit down in the jungle. Some people them a run away, and some a rumble and a shout. Fire burn. What you go on there? Sit down in the jungle. Some people them a run away, and some a rumble and a shout. Fire burn, fire burn. Down in the jungle. Some people them a run away, watch them just a rumble and a fire.
So Morgani. Yeah. All right. I'm Chuma Lamova from the Conscious Mind Study Group. I also represent the CPAC, the Cincinnati Pan African Coalition, as well as the Cincinnati Citywide Kwanzaa Committee. We are here at Root Season Oil, and we want to definitely thank them for hosting us and allowing us to share time, space, and energy here at this fine establishment. Today, I have another great sister from the Warrior class here in Cincinnati. Got Sister Sierra. What's going on, sister?
Just a lot of educating, researching.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, would you care to read the fifth principle for us?
Yes, the fifth principle is near, purpose, which means to make our collective vocation the building and developing our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness.
Restore our people to their traditional greatness. Wow. So you care to elaborate a little bit on that? What does that mean to you?
This means, purpose means your intentions, what you believe in, having a strong understanding of history of our people. And I can only speak for myself, but I'm a black woman. And I think my purpose as being a black woman is to educate myself and understand how I'm thriving and what are some of the areas of the 10 human activities that I'm struggling with, and how can I reach out to my community to help me better understand why I'm going through the things that I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? It takes a community to raise a village, like Chuma's been saying all along. It takes us to help educate ourselves and not depend on what the other person or the European people are doing. We can't depend on them anymore. We got to depend on our people and ourselves, and we have to educate ourselves, and we have to develop means to make sure that we're building the building blocks of our community and to be stronger, not weaker. We can't all just spread out being sporadic and not keep in touch. We are in touch people. We are family-oriented people. We come from Earth. We come from the OMAC. You know what I'm saying? They antagonize, and I'm doing my research, they antagonize the Native Americans and the African American black body. Why? Power. Why? Because they understand we have power when we come in numbers. We gotta do things with purpose. We got to have a strong feeling about everything that we do. Everything should be intentional. Do not walk in this room if you're not ready to add to the conversation or be willing to take notes and understand where we're coming from and how you're gonna implement this in your daily life. Establish order within our community. Restore our people to their traditional greatness. Where do we come from? We come from who? Kings and queens and people who know how to heal each other with herbal medicine. People who know how to sing a tune and understand, like, I'm healing right now with my people. We used to hold hands. Now they saying we can't hold hands because of a germ that was created. Nobody knows who created, but we all got conspiracy theories. The truth comes out, and it's going to show that our people are most affected because why? Our unity, the foundation of our unity is being dismantled by outside hands that we keep allowing to bring into our community because we so quote unquote trust them. We can't trust them anymore. We have to walk away.
So since with that being said, can you expound a little bit on how you plan to implement this fifth principle, need a purpose into your life, your daily walk, moving forward?
Being intentional about what I say, how I think, and who I see and who I talk to. Being intentional, having purpose of, what's my purpose of being here? And it's to grow, be with you guys, be educated. And purpose, supporting my people, with being purposeful about that, having a strong feeling of, I want to support my people, and that's it, and that's on period.
This principle involves building and developing, which are action words, which means that there's something we need to be doing, right? It's not one of those things that we just observe. It is, like I said, it's a verb. So in building and developing, we have to do that, as the sister said, with mindfulness, with positive intentions, and collectively as well. I think as long as we seek to maintain the same purpose, then we win. Right? Okay.
Take it personally.
Okay.
We gotta attack. We gotta take it personally.
Definitely. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal.
This is implementing action with the knowledge that we don't. You're right.
You know, it just warms my heart to see young people such as yourself and the young people that are gathered here with us, so knowledgeable, so willing, and so just setting themselves up in a position to embrace these principles. So it just warms my heart, right? Again, I want to say asante sana, because you could be anywhere sharing time, space, and energy, but you chose to be here with us, and I cannot thank you enough, asante sana.
Thank you. Y'all safe.
Peace. My name is Brother Hatim. I'd like to welcome you to the Self-Mastery Moment on this Giami journey. You can check me out on my blog at giamijourney.blogspot.com. Now, what I want to do today is talk to you first about why I'm here. I'm here because I'm a self-mastery coach. I want to make sure that everybody understands what it means to be a self-mastery coach and what self-mastery is. Self-mastery is a process of learning to control yourself. Now, first I need to define self for you before I get into the story I have for you today. The self can be defined as those absolute, complete, and perfect qualities of a being that are not dependent on external circumstances. So what I'm saying is that you are perfect. You are absolute. You are complete. So what that means is that there's something else going on that limits us. And the things that we need to master in the self-mastery process are those things. Number one being that personality. Number two, the ego. Number three, the emotions. We got to learn how to master these and use these for what we need. So the stories that I bring you during these self-mastery moments will be stories and lessons to help you accomplish that. So the first story I'm going to tell you is a little bit about me. Because in self-mastery, we have to make sure that everybody understands that we all have similar struggles. We all have problems. We all have a history. And we need to learn that history. So, here we go. Now, this is a story about myself. When I was younger, I was crazy about martial arts. I love Bruce Lee. I love Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee taught about going beyond your limits. So I always look for a martial arts class. And in looking for this martial arts class, I didn't have no money. And my mama didn't have no money. So, of course, I had to find a free class. So in order to be part of this class, one of the things that you had to do was you had to pass, in a sense, the initiation. You had to pass, be in the class for a while, and when the master recognized you, he would let you in. So I stayed there 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I can't remember exactly how long before I became a member of the class. This was when I was about 12 or 13 years old. Well, anyway, the master one day recognized me, and he told me come meet him after class. So I went to meet him after class. As we started talking. He started letting me know that he was going to set me in the class, and I was so excited, man. I mean, it's just like this is a dream come true. I'm actually going to be a martial arts student, and his brother, as he was breaking it down to me, he looked at me, just like I'm looking at you right now in the camera, and he said these simple words to me. He said, I know you. You don't remember me, do you? And I started thinking. I sat back and I looked at him, and I didn't want my master to know, my new teacher to know that I didn't know what he was talking about. No, I didn't remember him. But in my mind, immediately I went to all the negative things that I had done in my life, and I started wondering, was he one of the individuals that I have offended in my life? Was he the person was he the father of the child bike that I stole? You know what I'm saying? Was he the sheriff that tried to arrest us one day and I bit him in his hand so me and my little friends could get away? Was he somebody who owned a window that I had broke? Was he a substitute teacher that I was disrespectful in class with? I didn't know where I knew this man from, but I knew I wanted to be in his class, and I didn't want my past to affect that. And as he looked at me and he seen the confusion in my eyes, he said, I know you. You don't remember me, do you? So I finally had to fess up, and I said, no, I don't remember you. He said, don't worry about it. One day, you'll remember, and just think about it. So I started this class, and this man invested time in me. He taught me about myself. He taught me about my limits. He taught me how to push past my limits. This man invested time in me and taught me how to be a man through martial arts. He showed me where my weaknesses was and showed me how to work through those weaknesses and get those weaknesses to start working for me. He trained me. He pushed me. Every day that I went to practice, he pushed me to my limits. He invested his time in me. And as time went on, about 2 years, I started playing football, and I really got into football, and I really got into school, and at that time, I really started getting into girls, so I eventually start not having the time to spend with my master. So time and people and places being the way they were, I went my way, he went his way. He eventually went to prison for something, and I went to high school. When he came out, he would come around the house looking for me, but I was too busy for this man who invested in me. This man who became a father to me. Better yet, he even deeper than becoming a father, he was a teacher, and not only was he a teacher, he was my master, and I didn't have time for him. So eventually I graduated from high school because of some of the stuff that he taught me, because of the discipline he gave me. I graduated from high school and I went to college. And while I was in college, probably my third year there, I got word back from Akron just talking to somebody that my master had passed. And feeling bad and really realizing what I had done, I had turned my back on this man who invested in me, who did something that my own father didn't do. I got too busy for him. I went back to give him the proper respect that he deserved, and I wanted to go see his gravesite. So when I went home, I went to his gravesite. And as I was walking to the gravesite, I heard his voice in my head, and it rung, and it was so loud and it was so clear, it was as if he was there, and he said, I know you. You don't remember where you know me from, do you? And as I walked towards the grave, I kept hearing his voice, and as I stood over the grave, it finally came to me where I knew this man from. And in that moment, I started to cry and I started to laugh, because in that moment, everything, not just where I knew him from, but everything in life became clear for me, at least in that moment. And I started laughing and I started crying and I thought about it. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful thought. And that ends the story. Like I said, my name is Brother Hatim. I'd like to welcome you to my little space in between time and space. I'd like to welcome you here. I'd like to ask you to come read my blog and just get these lessons. We'll learn together and we'll build together and we'll grow together. Oh, I know some of you are probably wondering where I knew him from. And because I don't want to betray my master's trust again, I'm going to give you the same gift that he gave me. I'm going to say it to you exactly like he said it to me. And I'm going to look directly at you like he looked at me. And I'm going to say, I know you. I know you. You don't remember me, do you? I know you. You remember where you know me from, do you? I promise you one thing. When you finally discover where I know you from, you, just like me, will understand everything in that moment. Everything will become clear to you. So once again, this is High Tim. I'd like to thank you for your time. And with that, I say peace.
Habari gani? Listen, mzuri sana. Listen. Habari gani? Hear me now. Mzuri sana. Hear me now. Listen later. Listen. Habari gani? Listen, mzuri sana. Listen. Habari gani? Listen. Mzuri sana.
Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Listen look Moja unity Listen look Kuchicha kulia self-determination Listen look Ujima, listen look. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kumba, creativity. Imani, faith. Mali, moja kuchicha kulia. Ujima, ujama. Nia, kuumba imani. Espanza, moja kuchicha kulia. Ujima, ujama. Nia, kuumba imani. Espanza, listen look.
Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance is your part? Genetics, dance your part. Genetics, dance your part. DNA, is your part.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Listen.
Habari gani?
Hear me now.
Mzuri sana.
Hear me now. Listen later. Listen.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Listen.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Listen look.
Yo, if you didn't know, now you know. Once I got 7 principles, we live by the code. Unite all the sisters and my bros. We got power in our soul, professional. When I put the beat with the flow, I got water on the low. Drip for the cool, winter in the 614. Red, black and green candles. Lit.
It's your part. Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance? Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance? Do your African dance? Do your African dance? Do your African dance?
Habari gani? Mzuri sana. Habari gani? Mzuri sana. Habari gani? Mzuri sana. Habari gani? Mzuri sana.
African dance. Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance is your part? Do your African dance is your part? Genetics, dance your part. Genetics, dance your part. DNA, is your part.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Listen.
Habari gani?
Hear me now.
Mzuri sana.
Hear me now. Listen later. Listen.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Listen.
Habari gani?
Listen look.
Mzuri sana.
Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Moja kuchicha kulia ujima ujama Nia kuumba imani Espanza Listen look. look, listen look, listen look, listen look. Umoja unity. Listen look, listen look, listen look. Chichakulia, self-determination. Listen look, listen look. Ujima, listen look, listen look, listen look. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kuumba, creativity. Imani, faith. Money, faith.
Habari gani, mzuri sana. 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 Habari gani, mzuri sana.
Spirit Over Flesh LLC is a wellness-based business where we heal through words. I'm Tiandra. I'm the founding servant leader. It is a Black-owned, woman-owned business that was founded in Ohio, but that can serve the world. Through virtual sessions, either by phone or video conference, we have a conversation. We always start with a 15-minute consult where we just make sure that I learn a little bit about you, you learn some about me, and then we schedule some time to be intentional about your wellness journey. During the time, it's about education and empowerment. You are your own best doctor from within. So I'm literally someone who is just intentional in the space and drawing questions out of you to get you further on your wellness journey. Sessions are typically starting at $80, but if you mention Kwanzaa 2020, we're gonna go ahead and take 20% off. It's about getting you well so that we can be well, right? Kujichagulia and Ujima, collective responsibility. So grateful for the opportunity to support you in your wellness journey. If you're interested, go to my website, spiritoverfleshllc.com. There's a button that says Let's Connect. Fill out the form and I'll get right back to you. Again, that's spiritoverfleshllc.com. I look forward to supporting you in your wellness journey and healing through words.
Are you heading out of town or have a special occasion? What about birthdays, anniversaries, or reunions? Get the best deals and inexpensive rental car rates, midsize sedans, compact cars, and more. We have a variety of fleet vehicles to accommodate any and all of your rental car needs. Make a reservation today at your local budget rental car on Hamilton Road in Whitehall. Call 614-863-7500.
Happy Kwanzaa. I'm Carla, and my sister Karen and I own Two Natural Sisters. We've been in business for 5 years, and we sell a line of natural bath, body, and candle products. Let's take a look. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, at Two Natural Sisters. All items that are in stock will be shipped within 24 to 48 hours. As a promotional item, we offer a CD of Black romantic poetry of self-love and coupled love, and 50% discount on Sister Locks, Brother Locks by consultant Sapphire Donetta Mahadi. If you have any questions, you can reach us at customercare@twonaturalsisters.com. Enjoy and happy Kwanzaa.
What's going on? My name is Doe. I am the owner and creator of Madeline Gin. Madeline Gin is best described as a celebratory art experience that exudes hella blackness. Initially, the company was founded to provide a luxurious but affordable art experience, and it's since transformed itself into something a bit more spiritual. By walking in what I believe to be my truth, I've been able to get in contact with my ancestors and use my platform and my art, my gift, to tell their untold stories. I do that by using different textures, by utilizing different mediums, colors, and just making things pop out so that it's open for interpretation. I love, 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 love creating, and I can't wait to be of service to you. Thank you.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times, I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius.
The Purpose Driven Society is a Black-owned, woman-owned business local to Columbus who creates accessories that have intentional messaging. Our specialty are buttons. Buttons can be worn anywhere, on a shirt, on a book bag, on a hat. The beautiful thing about buttons is that you can change them and switch it up depending on your mood or the day. For Election Day, we wore a very intentional button. On my book bag, my student's book bag, it says, "You are already intelligent, educate yourself." Buttons are empowering with the messages that we create. Again, we do them very intentionally. At the Purpose Driven Society, we're minding our Black-owned business and hope that you'll help mind ours too by doing business with us. Our buttons go for $3 for one, $5 for two, $7 for three. But if you mention Kwanzaa 2020, we're doing a special where you'll get an assortment of buttons for just $20, and we'll ship anywhere in the country. So again, that's the Purpose Driven Society. We can be reached at thepurposedrivensociety@outlook.com. Send us an email, and we will put together a very intentional bag of buttons for you and ship it straight to your home. Happy Kwanzaa. Thanks for doing business with us.